Weather Mates community, and we are talking about Hurricane Rafael. We posted as soon as possible. I think I was even in my curlers, but it was important to get you guys updated on what's happening with what was Tropical Storm Rafael, now Hurricane Rafael, just upgraded about an hour or two ago. Alrighty, so the location is 19.7 degrees north, 80.4 degrees west. Florida Keys look like they will be impacted with the wind radii. Additionally, with strong winds and possibly some rain, but I don't think that that's going to be the direct landfall location. In fact, I will show you my thoughts in just one moment. We're going to go ahead and include our spaghetti plots, okay? I think those are always good to do. I think it's always nice to include those, of course, but we're just going to go ahead and keep this going. So you can see here, max sustained wind speeds 80 miles per hour. I mentioned to you on my quick hit that the max sustained wind speeds generally 74 to 95, or not generally, are 74 to 95 miles per hour. And then at that point, you can upgrade it to a category 2 beyond 95 miles per hour. But we were seeing mainly 70 to about 72 miles per hour until earlier this evening. And then we saw 75 mile per hour sustained wind speeds. Now we're at 80 miles per hour, northwesterly movement at 13 miles per hour, central pressure 984 millibars. Okay. So now we're really starting to get into the meat and potatoes of what Hurricane Rafael is. Now, do I think Hurricane Rafael will maintain hurricane strength as it makes landfall? I do not. I do think he will become a tropical storm downgrade, but we still have to be mindful, because if we look at the legend and compare the temperatures of the sea surface here in the Gulf of Mexico, can you see that we're hovering right around Louisiana? You can see these Gulf states have sea surface temperatures between 84, 86, and 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which means there's still enough latent heat. So guys, do not take it for granted. I'm going to keep you updated over the next couple of days. We expect it to finally make it into the Gulf of Mexico by later tomorrow. In the meantime, it's got to make its way over Cuba. Those mountain chains oftentimes can deteriorate it, but it still may maintain its category 1 strength, right? And this is what we really have to track very closely for you. If you guys recall, with Milton and with Helene, we sat here with you until they made landfall, simply because we have to make sure that if there's anything that could give us any more concern, we've got to let you guys know in real time. And of course, always let the authorities know. But I'm really excited to have you guys join me right now. I hope you all went out and voted today. It's so exciting. We'll talk about some of the local weather happening. We've seen so many electoral votes come in, so it's really exciting. But I focus on the weather. So once again, Rafael location 19.7 degrees north, 80.4 degrees west. Wind speeds, max sustained wind speeds 80 miles per hour. So remember 75 to 95, that's where we're in that category 1 range. Movement northwesterly at 13 miles per hour. Central pressure 985 millibars. So it's a pretty healthy hurricane, not a necessarily strong one, nor is it a massive one either, but we still have to observe it very closely and what's going to happen once it does cross Cuba. Alrighty. So we're going to get this moving, and let's just go ahead and see what's happening across the Caribbean into the Gulf. We're seeing a lot of rain, especially across Florida. We saw that earlier today. If you guys were like me, watching what was happening at the voting facilities, some rain for Floridians, but I'm sure they all made it anyhow. We're going to show you a wider perspective in just 1 minute. All right. So let's take a look here at our hour by hour forecast over the next couple of hours. Now, this is not our spaghetti plot. I just wanted to give you a quick idea of what's happening here. You see it increase to category 2. This is what I'm talking about. When I'm looking at this model, I did pump it through an algorithm that I have worked on for a very long time. I still have to allow for those sea surface temperatures to really impact the strength and possibility, the health of this tropical engine, right? So as we see right now, it will intensify to a category 2 and then weaken to a category 1 and then weaken to a tropical storm before it makes landfall. Still doesn't mean we don't take it seriously. We must take it seriously, because the problem here is the location, where, of course, we are seeing this potential impact here, and the fact that Rafael is going to have an interesting path, and that he will impact the Florida Keys and then wrap around and go northwestward and finally potentially make landfall in Louisiana. And so this is something we've got to be really aware of. So right now, I am asking you, all right, as somebody who's had so much experience covering several hurricanes, I think my most impactful, memorable one was when I was a chief meteorologist covering Superstorm Sandy at the ABC station in my home state of Connecticut. That was amazing. Okay. And since then, I've covered Irma, Maria, um, Harvey. Harvey was just impressive as well. I want you all to just keep in mind if you have friends, family, loved ones in this area, you've got to give them a heads up right now, okay? Please do that for me. Please let me know that you have. Please let them know here, especially Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. I want them to be aware that they may be in that area, that cone of uncertainty. That's where they might see the landfall, okay? Even if it's a tropical storm. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and show you some other products here. I do believe I included, let's see here. I'm going to drag something up quickly. You guys might see a little bit of black right now just because I'm dragging in another graphic, okay? So this is what happens. I'm just moving in real time and I'm actually pulling up data that's functioning in real time. So with that said, I'm going to go into what's happening right now and then we'll take a look at those spaghetti plots. So we're already seeing a couple of items that have been presented. Tropical storm warning issued by the National Weather Service. So again, the Florida Keys will be impacted. I do think it'll be category 1 as it swoops on by, being impacted as far as the Florida Keys are concerned. They will be impacted because of its trajectory. Again, that's not where it's going to make landfall. Still, we have to be mindful. So Bayside and Gulf Side from Craig Key to west end of 7 Mile Bridge. Gulf waters from East Cape Sable to, to 20 to 60 nautical miles out and beyond 5 fathoms. Gulf of Mexico, including Dry Tortugas and Rebecca Shoal Channel. Gulf of Mexico from west end of 7 Mile Bridge to Half Moon Shoal out to 5 fathoms. Hawk Channel from Craig Key to west end of 7 Mile Bridge out to the reef. Hawk Channel from west end of 7 Mile Bridge to Half Moon Shoal. We also have, Straits of Florida from west end of 7 Mile Bridge to south of Half Moon Shoal out 20 nautical miles. Straits of Florida from Half Moon Shoal to 20 nautical miles west of Dry Tortugas. Straits of Florida from Craig Key to west end of 7 Mile. Straits of Florida from west end of 7 Mile Bridge to south of Half Moon Shoal. This is who's included in this tropical storm warning. So once again, please go update. I'm sure everybody's been so focused on the election. You've got to let them know, okay, that we are now tracking Hurricane Rafael and they have to take it seriously. So important. If you guys have any questions, please do me a favor, drop them in the chat. I will do my best to get back to it in just one moment, but I do have to hone in on what's happening here. So we know we have our tropical storm warning. We are seeing coastal flood advisories. All up and along, actually, the Gulf here. So we're seeing some coastal flood advisories already issued. Now, do they have to do with this particular system with Hurricane Rafael? No. But still, we now have to start keeping an eye on what's happening and do our due diligence, guys. So please already let your friends and family know what's happening here. We're seeing small craft advisories also issued. Now, apart from that, I will get back to everything that's happening across the rest of the nation, but I do have to get to this next item here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom on out because remember, this is operating in real time. What I did here, guys, if you notice, all right, you can see that I've have the clock set at CST. So it's basically the location of that center of the map. That's what I went to, Central Standard Time, okay? If you want me to move and change the time to Eastern Standard Time or Mountain Standard Time, just let me know. I'm fine with anything, okay? I will definitely do anything that you guys need from me here because it's so urgent. You see here that we have different outliers, okay? So I want you guys to keep this in mind because this outlier here, the CLP 5, let's go ahead and take a look. It's a climatology and persistent model 5-day, okay? So this is an outlier. Do I think this is generally accurate? No. But we do want to understand that, okay, we have one model here that suggests, hey, it's something we want to keep in mind. I think this happens to be picking up on the fact that we are going to be impacted by the perhaps outer bands, also by the wind radii, but you're going to see here that the majority of the spaghetti plots, and this is important to note, where are they headed? Look at this. And even the HWRF, while I'd normally say to you, I do like the HWRF because it's a hurricane weather research and forecasting model. And those guys are literally geniuses. I mean, I wish I had half a brain. Those guys are just absolutely brilliant. But here we go to the AVNO, TVCN, CMC, and the UCMET. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what these guys are. The AVNO is a National Weather Service American Global Forecast System. So it's the GFS model. And let me tell you something. Okay, bear with me right now. The GFS has been very good this year. Okay, if anybody has said otherwise, then have them show you the data. The GFS has been very good this year. It's been very good to me, and I am very happy with what it's been producing. I am quite satisfied with that one. Okay, now we go over to the TVCN, and we want to see what we have working with here. Let's see. I just saw it 1 moment ago. I just had it up there. That's okay. We'll just find it 1 second. Okay. All righty. Let's see. It is the okay, so the TCON consensus and the GUNA consensus plus the Hurricane WRF model. The version of the TCON corrected for model biases is known as the TCCN, a lagged average of the last two runs of the members within the TCON plus and the ECMWF model. It's known as a TVCN consensus. So it's got quite a little conglomerate there of model solutions, and that's what it seems like to me. The fact that it uses the European model, that's the ECMWF, I'm fine with it. I honestly have not loved the ECMWF this year, and I think we've been really accurate here at Weather Co-op, so I can say that with a lot of confidence, okay? I've not been happy with it. It's been fine, but I've been, again, very happy with the GFS model. Now, if you look at the Canadian model, the CMC up there, we oftentimes like the CMC, and I got to be honest with you, the JMA and the CMC have been really accurate. I mean, when you plug it in with the GFS and you kind of just slice and dice and do some fancy math, I have not been disappointed. It hasn't been superior, nor has it been supremely accurate rather. I do think that it's something that we want to consider. It's a global environment multi-scale GEM model from the Canadian Meteorological Society or Center. So it's a Canadian model, right? And then we also talked about the, let's see, the UCMET, and I just want to give you the exact information with the UCMET. I just like to give you guys information that you guys can chew on, okay? Let's see. So it's the UKM stands for UKW model. In fact, it is a hurricane prediction from the Met Office. So that's the UK Met Office, okay? And that's fine. I personally, I've been fine with them. Haven't loved it, haven't hated it. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna stick. I like that AVN. Oh, I do like let's see. I like the way these spaghetti plots are looking right now. Again, that CLP5, it's out there on its own. It's an outlier, as is the HWRF. So you can see here that the average is just giving me the AVNO, TVCN, CMC, and the UKM. Okay, there you go. That's kind of a quick and dirty update for you. Category 1 right now. We expect Rafael to become a Category 2, and it's moving. Can you see it moving? Once again, I think it was moving northwest at like 13 miles per hour. Alrighty. So let's see what else we have here. I'm going to go back now to our current conditions, and that's something that I just said to you. There it is right there. Do you see? I haven't put anything on it, but there he is. See Rafael going over Jamaica, going into Cuba. Then eventually he's going to be right around moving into the Gulf right around tomorrow later in the day, okay? But I'll be here, so I'll keep you guys updated as soon as that happens, okay? You guys will not be here without me. Sorry, my bangs are growing. All right, enough of the bangs. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some storms moving through, and let's take a look at some storm tracks. I have some friends that may actually join us here right now, but we'll hang tight for that. Oh, there you go. There are your storms. Do you see them, how I just populated them? Yesterday, we did see several tornadoes. Actually, let me go ahead and go back 24 hours to see our local storm reports there. And I want to go ahead and show you last 24 hours, okay? All right. Was it? No, it was like actually beyond that. Well, we have one more here that we can report on. I don't think we reported on these yesterday. All right, let's show you here. We have 9:41 a.m. CST tornado and 9:46 a.m. CST tornado. Let me see if I can go farther back, okay, in time, or further back in time. Can I? Oh, yeah, here we go. 48 hours out. Okay, let's go out so we can see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so do you guys remember I was tracking with you guys yesterday, and said I was really concerned about the tornado outbreak that I thought we were going to see, and we did. And actually, I had a bigger concern for Missouri, and as you can see here, this is exactly what we got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything else. Okay, I'm going to remove all of the winter. I'm going to remove all the flood. I'll add those back on in just one moment. Okay, tropical. I'm also going to remove the marine, miscellaneous as well. Okay, now we've just got tornadoes. And excuse me while I move a lot, guys. I actually always, I don't know, I have this habit. I always sit on my foot. I don't know why I do that, but I do. And then I'm all like, oh, my foot. Okay, so we're going to take a look here at all of the tornadoes we've had reported over the past 48 hours. Now, quick mention here, we are seeing a flood warning issued for until 9:30 a.m. CST Wednesday. Portions of central, east central, south central, and southwest Missouri, including the following counties in central Missouri: Pulaski, east central Missouri, Phelps County, and south central Missouri, Dent and Texas County, and southwest Missouri, Laclede and Wright. So again, until 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So numerous roads remain closed due to flooding from rainfall over the last 36 hours. Rainfall totals were absolutely impressive. My gosh. It will take several hours for all the water to run off. And then we've got to deal with runoff. You guys know that one of my areas of expertise includes environmental sustainability and climate action. We now have to take a look at that runoff. That runoff can sometimes be dangerous. But right now, the biggest concern is making sure everybody's off the road. We saw those crazy storms coming through yesterday. Guys, some of you I see are just joining us right now on Weather Co-op. We were talking about Hurricane Rafael. We will get back to Hurricane Rafael, but at this point, I just want to go over what I forecasted last Saturday for yesterday. And I always like to check my work so you guys know we are accurate and we have no problem shying away from the forecast and the backcast. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the tornadoes we had reported. 9:28 p.m. CST tornado yesterday, Montgomery County, Missouri. This was a public source. Now, remember, National Weather Service has to go in. Likely they have. This is why it's being reported. Damage surveys confirmed the brief EF0 tornado formed along Baptist Road in Montgomery County, tracking east-northeastward. This looks like it's another one that's been updated. Is this the same one? 9:40 p.m. This is another tornado last night, St. Charles, Missouri County. Law enforcement, one machine shed destroyed along Highway W near Forestdale, along with telephone poles knocked down and lots of trees down. Likely a tornado, but storm survey will confirm. This is what I told you guys. Do you guys remember yesterday there was one that was right around the border of Kansas and Oklahoma, and I just didn't trust it. I'm not going to. Oh, this is a good one here. All right, let's talk about this one here. I told you guys, Missouri was my eye. It was so we have our funnel cloud here, but that was a concern for me yesterday. Reported in Ozark County, Missouri, and then here we have another one. So storm, National Weather Service storm survey. Okay, so this was also reported as well by the National Weather Service. Brief tornado rated EF0. We had another one here in Rogers and Benton County, Arkansas. Another one in Benton County, Arkansas. Here we're going into Oklahoma, Adair. We also have Sequoia. We also have another one in Sequoia. 3 is what we have here reported. All right, guys, let's go back. I feel like so many of you want to know more about what's happening with Rafael. Let's go back to what's happening here with our spaghetti plot. Super important. Here's our spaghetti plot. All righty. So I'm going to give you guys another update on what's happening here with Rafael, and we're going to show you what the spaghetti plots are telling us right now. We talked about this, I guess on October 23rd is when we first saw it. And again, there is an algorithm that I'm working on personally. It is proprietary. It belongs to my company. And just so that you guys know a little bit more about me, I created a weather company with an algorithm and a platform. And my angel investor came in and invested in the product because he believed in it. And so since then, for the past 10 months, we've been working on getting this all out to market, and it's been working. But boy, oh boy, it's a lot of work. So with that said, this is why I did have an eye out on what was happening here, which is now Hurricane Rafael. Okay. I just saw something. I had to work on it, and eventually was just like, yeah. So if you guys go back to my stories, you will see there that on October 23rd, that was one of my go-to stories. Alrighty. Spaghetti plot. Here we go. People, you guys love the spaghetti plot. I know. So right now we are at a category 1. and we are getting some messages here. Category 1, we do think we're going to eventually see Hurricane Rafael make it to a Category 2, and well, we're going to have to wait for it. Once we see those max sustained wind speeds, guys, here's the key. Once you see 96 miles per hour, as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, Erica said that's Category 2. It's exactly what you're going to do, okay? That's all you're going to do. You're going to wait for 96 miles per hour. When you see it, then you're going to know it's a Category 2. That's kind of what I want you guys to keep in mind. So for right now, we are seeing max wind speeds. I believe we had it on this one here. Yeah, let's go back to this one. So I'm jumping around just a little bit, but don't worry, we're going to go right back to it, okay? So max sustained wind speeds at 80 miles per hour, northwesterly at 13 miles per hour, 985 millibars. And so this is really the big story right now, okay? Because the concern, of course, is that his path, Rafael's path, is definitely going to clip the Florida Keys. But apart from that, it's going to go northwestward and impact likely Louisiana. We've got Alabama, Mississippi to contend with, and certainly Texas will feel some impact from what's happening with Rafael. Okay, so let's go over what we're seeing right here. Let's see. Okay. A general northwestward motion is anticipated over the next day or so, followed by a gradual west-northwestern turn in the Gulf of Mexico. I love that they gave that description because sometimes I'll see like, oh, it's just going northwest. Like, no, it's west-northwestward. I love that. Rafael is expected to pass through the Cayman Islands tonight, be nearer over western Cuba on Wednesday, and move into the southeastern Gulf of Mexico by Wednesday night. So like I said, by tomorrow night, by tomorrow evening, later in the day tomorrow, you're going to start to see it move into the Gulf. Aircraft drops on data indicate that maximum sustained wind speeds have increased to nearly 80 miles per hour with higher gusts. Additional rapid strengthening intensification is forecast over the next 12 to 18 hours, and we could very well become a Category 2, and Rafael could briefly weaken over Cuba, and that just has to do with the mountain chains because those mountain chains in Cuba are pretty unforgiving when it comes to these systems, right? This hurricane, it'll shear, like it'll just, the mountain chains will just affect and impact the wind. Remember, we have to have that uniform, right? That wind has to go all the way to the top of the engine. And anytime we see a shearing of the wind profile, that's when it starts to weaken it, okay? We need shearing in tornadoes. We don't need shearing in a healthy, hardy hurricane that's going to maintain its strength or intensify. Okay, but in this case, because it'll come close to and come tete-a-tete with Cuba, this is where we think we'll see some shearing. Okay, so hurricane force winds extend outward up to 15 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 115 miles. What did I say when we started? The concern was the wind radii, right? That was the concern. And I think I have it right here. I might have it in this one. Let's see. Okay. Well, I have a little bit of a lag time on this one. All right. We're almost getting through this, guys. Sorry, this is a long graphic. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Like, come on, Erica. Okay, here we go. So, do I have the wind radii on this one? Let's see here. I might not. Let me see. Wind radii. Come on, Erica. Let's see. I know I named it wind radii. I may have not named it wind radii. Great. Okay. Oh, here it is, I think. All right, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Let's see. Can we look at the wind radii here? Hang tight. Do not get discouraged. I've built so many graphics just for this one hurricane. It's just insane. So, okay, here we go. This is it. Thank you for hanging tight, guys. All right, we're going to go through it. In fact, I'm going to toggle this very slowly. Do you see here how we have this? Okay, so remember CST again. I've got it on CST. Do you see how the wind radii here is not really impacting the Florida Keys? I would just say keep in mind that we're talking about currently, we're seeing the hurricane force winds extend outward up to 15 miles and tropical storm force winds extend up to 115 miles, okay? And sometimes those outer bands could actually impact those areas that are far out, okay? And likely will. And that's why the Florida Keys should be aware. And then as we continue to move through this and I toggle this forward, look what happens. Look what happens. Look at that. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I do not like this at all for Louisiana. I do not like this at all for Mississippi, Alabama. So I want you all to keep your friends and family safe. Let them know what's happening, okay? You guys, please keep people up to date because this is going to be a major concern over the next couple of days. I guarantee it. Once all of the election excitement has worn off, this is what we're going to be dealing with. And we know what happened last time with Helene, okay? I am giving you guys a heads up right now. Last time when we were tracking Helene, I had no interest in the actual landfall location. I went farther inland. I was concerned with Georgia, with North Carolina. You guys can go back and check the work. What I'm saying is here, we've got to really pay attention at Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. You know, those areas are low lying areas. This is my concern, okay? So I am a Mississippi State Bulldog. So, of course, you guys know I'm going to be keeping an eye out for my alma mater as well, but also keeping an eye out for everybody that is in this area. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I'll be back in just a few minutes, but I wanted to go ahead and include that for you. I will take a break. I'll upload these across our YouTube platforms. We also do have a TikTok page. It's called Talk Weather to me, guys. I've been doing my best. Received well, actually, over on TikTok, but I think I just started it like 3 weeks ago. All right. So, you guys, I'll see you in just a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. And in fact, let me leave you right now with the spaghetti plot, okay? I think this is a good one. I want you guys to see this, to really keep in mind and make sure that you let your friends and family know that this is serious right now. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Okay, you guys, and it really looks like Louisiana, but still, we're gonna keep our eyes open, eyes peeled, and I promise I will track it very closely for you. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erica Martin, also Skyward Storm Spotter with over 185,000 miles of chasing tornadoes under my belt, and I'm a Weather Ready Nation ambassador, and I'm also the founder of Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I hope you all have a wonderful couple of minutes as I